Hello everyone, and thank you very much for tuning into my humble YouTube channel. Recently I've been asked a lot of questions about executions, so I figured it's about time I made a quick video about an execution guide. So first of all, let's start with the very basics. An execution is basically just a cinematic finisher similar to fatalities in Mortal Kombat. When executing an enemy, you gain health and the enemy can no longer be resurrected by their teammates. If you kill an enemy with a heavy attack, you get the chance to do an execution. Some other attacks can trigger an execution as well, for example the Raider's zone attack and Hitsukiri's tier 4 feat known as Senbon Sakura. Technically there are a few heavy attacks that don't count either, for example Shinobi's ranged heavy, but let's not cover that now. All heroes are equipped with 2 executions to choose from, but you can always just buy more. No matter how many you own, you can only equip up to 4 at a time though. You can equip different effects to all of the executions that you have equipped. You do this by customizing your hero and clicking on effects and then up in the execution tab. Here you can see all the effects that you have unlocked, and you simply click on one of them and then select which of the input buttons that you want it to be applied to. I think you can make some of these executions pretty badass if you choose the right effects to put on it. Personally, I really like the demon face for Gladiator because that's just perfect with his Trifork. And I also like the demon effect for Shugoki because that makes it the most horrifying hero in the whole game. While doing an execution, you are still vulnerable to attacks, and if you're being attacked while doing an execution, it will be cancelled. If your execution is cancelled, it doesn't necessarily mean that the kill was not guaranteed, because the kill time happens at a specific point of the execution animation. So that means if there are many enemies around you, then pick an execution that kills fast. This way you are sure that you can get the kill confirmed even though your animation is cancelled. And like I said earlier, executions they do heal you, and that happens at the exact same moment as the kill is confirmed. The different executions heal for either 20, 35 or 50 HP. But as a general rule, then the fast executions heal for the least amount and the slow execution heal for the maximum amount. I've heard people say different things about what defines how much HP you get from an execution. I wasn't sure if it was based on the duration of the animation or the duration until the kill was confirmed, or maybe something completely different. So I went on the For Honor information hub and then looked at some data. I then arranged the data based on the duration and then on the kill time. It doesn't seem there's a correlation between kill time and the amount of HP that you gain, but on the other hand there's a big correlation between the full duration and the amount of HP you get back. And based on this data I can conclude that the lowest amount of HP you can get is 20. That is for executions that are 4 seconds or less. 35 HP is 4.06 seconds to 5 seconds, and 50 HP, which is maximum, is anything above 5.06 seconds. So if you want quick and efficient healing, find an execution that is as close to 5100 milliseconds as possible. Now next up, did you know that some executions can actually be cancelled by yourself? There aren't that many in the game, but there are a few, and you can cancel them by simply moving after a specific point in the animation. In this example, that is the Shaman's Timber. After 5 seconds you can simply cancel whenever you feel like it. I'm not entirely sure how many executions can be cancelled right now, but I do know that there were some that could be cancelled 2 years ago which can't today. For example, the Shaman's Call Me Your Voices used to be cancelable, but it isn't anymore. I tried to do some research by going into the For Honor information hub, link in the description, and then I checked out which ones they label as the ones that can be cancelled, and according to this list there are only 4 that can. And they are the Lawbringer's Oh Come On, which is actually very good because it's cancelled just before the 5-second mark, but it heals for the maximum amount of HP, even though it's less than 5 seconds. The second one is Lawbringer's Knock Knock. I haven't actually seen any video proof of this and I don't own it, but it's supposed to be able to cancel it at 6 seconds. The next one is Shaman's Timber, which I have mentioned here earlier, and that is totally confirmed. And the last one is a shared animation called Death by Spears, but whoa, you save a whopping 0.2 seconds on that, so that basically doesn't even count. If you are wondering what a shared animation is, that is simply one that can be used by all heroes. When you select executions for a hero, then the top ones are always the ones that are unique to that specific hero. After that we have one that is faction based, and the last few they can be shared among all heroes. Shared doesn't mean that you buy it once and get it for everyone, it just means that all heroes can use it. Now why is all this important? Because executions they just fancy moves? But no, that's not true, because they actually do serve a few purposes. First of all, if you kill an enemy with an execution, they cannot be resurrected by a teammate and they have to wait until the timer runs out and they can rejoin the battle. On top of that, your respawn delay is increased by 3 seconds. That means that in Dominion it goes from 12 to 15 seconds and in Breach it's from 20 to 23 seconds. And don't forget that the duration of the execution animation is also a time that the opponent is not helping out their teammates. So this means if you're holding a zone and the enemy you execute is the last one standing, you can actually pick one that is very slow. That means that for the full duration of the execution, which could be excruciatingly long, you are basically preventing the enemy from respawning and coming back to reclaim the zone that you just captured. But on the other hand, if you're outside of zones, then a long execution means a long time where you are not capturing zones either. And if you're in the minion lane, you are at risk of being hit by one of them, which means your execution will be cancelled. So in those two cases, pick a fast execution. Another good reason to execute is that an execution does not trigger death related feats. And that's for example the one where you can auto-resurrect, or that other one where you drop a bomb just after being killed. The final and most important reason to do an execution is because it makes you look cool. I guess I could go on to tell you how you can only equip 4 executions, and it's very important that you pick one that's fast, one that kills fast, one that heals for 50 HP, and one that stalls the enemy as long as possible. But personally I don't even do that myself, I just pick one that's fast and the rest I just pick based on how cool they look. And anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope I see you next time. Have a great day.